going on, Jerome's? So Harrison Smith is one of the best safeties in NFL history. Should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but may not get there because of all the haters and the losers who refuse to give Harrison his all-pro flowers, his all-decade team flowers. Conversation for another day. But bottom line, one of the greatest Vikings defensive players in franchise history, certified slam dunk, Ring of Honor inductee eventually, and Harrison Smith, I mean, for the last couple of years, has taken massive pay cuts to remain with the team, and he's just amazing, man. Right. And, a lot of speculation over the last couple seasons. Would Harrison Smith retire? Would he not? But he is returning for his year 35 season, because his year 34 season with Brian Flores last season, I mean, he kind of found the fountain of youth. Harrison was back to doing Harrison Smith things. But like we said, the Vikings and Harrison, would they work something out? Harrison was due a significant chunk of change, but they're able to work things out again, even though there was speculations that, hey, maybe the Vikings would trade Harrison to reunite with Zimmer in Dallas because he's bringing D down in Dallas. Something like that. Right. But didn't happen. Like we said, Harrison, for the second year in a row, took a massive pay cut, and Harrison could have been let go, could have gotten the bag somewhere else. There's always a need and demand for a high caliber, even though long in the tooth of defenders, and Harrison wanted to be here. And again, it's refreshing. You love to see the loyalty. Loyalty does cut both ways, though. But Harrison is returning for another season in purple. But long story longer, what's his role going to be in 2024? Now, the thing about it is, like, Harrison being back, it isn't charity. It isn't a ceremonial post. Harrison Smith played, frankly, some of his best football over the last couple seasons last year. And even though the Vikings, so they ran the three safety look with Harrison, Beasley, and Metellus all playing over 92% of defensive snaps last year, but it was more out of necessity. And the fact that Flores is becoming more entrenched now on the Vikings defensive side of the ball, bringing in his guys in terms of free agency and the draft, will the Vikings have to play three safeties as much in 2024 as last season? But Harrison, like we said, like, he did find the fountain of youth last year, and it was the easiest thing. So 2021, Zimmer, Harrison was still doing Harrison Smith things, and 2022 with Donishell, he was asked to play a lot more coverage, right? And Harrison, I mean, could still do the damn thing. He's a great all-around safety, tied a career high with 5 interceptions in 2022, playing a lot more coverage. His percentage of snaps down in the box was around 30%, which was a career low, as well as his 1.4% blitz rate was obviously a career low as well. So Harrison, Donishell and the defense, a lot of issues in 2022, obviously. But Harrison adapted, and he still played well. But the thing about Flores last year is that he reverted back to Zimmer-era Harrison Smith. And he was down in the box, a career high, 51.7% of his snaps. He had 93 tackles. He had 3 sacks, 12 pressures, which was a career high, as well as an 8.9% blitz percentage, which was glorious, which was absolutely fantastic. 3 passes broken up, 3 forced fumbles, and he was back. And again, this is not a charity case bringing him back in 2024. Harrison Smith can still do the damn thing, but Flores has talked about reducing Harrison's snaps. So what is his role going to look like in 2024? I do believe Flores when he talks about longevity, because he understands managing snaps, managing minutes, and I do think that Harrison will have a drop in snaps from last year, where he was on the field 98% of defensive plays. I could see that dropping down to about 80%, primarily on passing downs, and hopefully the Vikings can weather the storm in their base defense on early downs, rushing downs, and saving Harrison from some of that attrition, where he is one of the best safeties at setting the edge and helping against the run, but saving him for some of that wear and tear could be the smart thing to do. And I do see him more down in the box in the normal role, which Flores brought him back to last season. Even though Harrison still has range, even at an advanced age of 35, he still does his best work down in the box. He's the man in the box, and also I don't see his blitz percentage going down. because Harrison Smith still has a decent nose for the quarterback and beyond sacks. Like he racked up all 3 of his sacks in one game against the Panthers, but timely pressures, just moving the quarterback off the spot, can be just as valuable as a sack in terms of maybe the quarterback makes a mistake, maybe he steps up into a sack by another defender, maybe he throws an incompletion and forces a punt on a 3rd and long situation, which is just as good as a sack. So Harrison, I still love Harrison Smith, and I'm glad that he's back for another season. And is this the last ride? Well, we've said that for like the last 3 years, but you never rule out Harrison Smith. And the Vikings and Harrison, they did revise his contract, so he's a de facto free agent next offseason. So it's possible that Harrison returns on another smaller deal. Maybe he finds work somewhere else for another season or 2. But either way, he's a guy that still is playing at a high level. Now, is he peak 2017 All-Pro Harrison Smith? No, he's not. But is he still a top 12 to 15 safety in this league? Yes. And can he absolutely bring some leadership as well as quality and high caliber play to the Vikings defense? Yes. But I think it will be an adjusted role. I think that he will be reduced to what he does best, is setting the edge and getting some pressure off the edge down in the box in this Flores defense. So that's what we're looking forward to. And like we said, he's on the field not just because of who he was, it's because of who he is. He can still bring it, and still love watching 2022 out there in 2024. That's right, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. What's Harrison Smith going to do this season? What's his role going to be? Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But to next time, Skol, production value.